Well, hello my darlings, and welcome back to our channel. I am so glad you are here. Now, for those of you who have been requesting this for a long time, I am pleased to say that we are about to venture upon a new journey on our channel. Jewelry making, my darlings. I sure do hope you'll stay tuned. For this project, you will need some beads of your choice. I'm going to be using this Crackle glass as well as some other beads. You will need this elastic string 1 millimeter in width. You will need a tape measure. You will also need a clip, and I'm going to be using this one on the back of this Dollar Tree butterfly. And of course, you will need your handy dandy tools. Please be sure to have some permanent glue on hand. Let's get crafting. So the first thing you're going to have to do is, of course, take the measurement of the wrist you will be making this bracelet for. And here I am using my elastic string to take the measurement of my wrist. Now my wrist is about 7 3/4 inches in diameter, and so for the purpose of making a bracelet that will go easily over my wrist as well as hold the pattern that I would like it to hold, I am going to cut my elastic thread at about 10.5 inches long. Once I have cut that elastic thread, I am going to take my clip, recycle, and of course reuse my clip that is at the back of this Dollar Tree butterfly, and I'm going to clip the end of it so that when I start to lay my beads, they will not fall off on the other side. So here I have my elastic thread that is anchored by my clip, and now what I'm going to do before I start beading is I am going to lay out the pattern that I would like to create on my bracelet. Now the reason why I'm doing this, and of course this is full disclosure, is because when I made my prototype, I figured that I had the pattern in my head and I knew that I was not going to forget any of the pieces, and lo and behold, I did, and you may be able to see that glitch in the prototype during the outro. But so that this does not happen, what I'm doing is I am laying down all of my beads so that I will have a pattern right in my eye line when I start to bead. When I start to bead, I'm not going to be taking those beads from the pattern that I have laid there. I'm going to be taking my beads from my plate, and this way I'll be sure not to forget any part of the pattern that I am trying to create. All right, so just a little funny for those of us who get it. I should have said in the tools that you will be needing are your glasses. If you're anything like me and you need just a little clarification for your eyes, please be sure to have your glasses on hand. But now that I have place my pattern down and I am sure that I am going to be using this pattern, it is simply time to start beading. And as you see I'm doing, I am mirroring the pattern that I have already set out on the table. Now I have not already mentioned, but when creating my prototype, I used another pattern, just trying to play with it to decide which way I wanted to go. So even though the prototype is going to be different from this one that we're making on camera, I'm still using the same beads and the same color scheme, as well as a little bit of similarity with the smaller beads that I'm using. So as you can see, I'm going and I am placing my beads in the pattern that I have, continuing with my starfish and continuing going all the way throughout. Just another note, my darlings, glasses are a must, as well as long nails, make it even more difficult to bead when you're free beading. Of course, it would be easier if we were taking those beads right off of their packaging and putting it on wire, but because we're lifting them up, or taking them rather one by one and feeding that line through it, long nails may or may not hinder some of us. And so just continuing this pattern as I go along and taking from the beads that I have on the side. And what I'm going to do, of course, is continue this pattern off camera, and when I come back, I will show you how to close your bracelet. So here we have the pattern that I have extended all throughout the bracelet, and what we're going to do now is very carefully remove that clip on the end so that we will be able to close this bracelet. Now, I have placed just a little bit too many beads on this string, if I have to be 100% honest, simply because I wanted to finish that pattern that I had started. So of course, finishing your bracelet is going to depend on the size of the beads that you use, as well as the intricacy of your pattern. But as you can see, I very carefully removed, oops, I lost 2 beads, but that's okay. We're going to continue it just the way it is. But as you saw, I carefully removed that clip at the end while holding the other end of that bracelet in my other hand. And when I had those 2 ends freed, one from the other, I am now trying to, with my long nails, tie these 2 ends together and knot them. So I'm going to tie it once. I'm going to tie it a second time, and then I'm going to tie it a third time, just to make sure that that bracelet is secure. And then I'm going to take my permanent glue, and I am going to place it on the knot. So here we have an extra plate, because I want to make sure not to get that permanent glue all over everything else. And I'm going to take just a dab of it. And with that dab, I'm going to take a safety pin, anything with a point, anything, a toothpick, it does not matter. And I'm going to place just a dollop of that permanent glue on that knot. Now, ideally, I would have placed this bracelet down on the side and allowed that permanent glue to set and to cure. But for the essence, or rather in the essence of time, what I'm going to do is take that bracelet, take my 2 ends, knot it one more time, possibly even 2, if I could, 2 more times. And then once I have made the last knot that I need, I can either do one of 2 things, which is to either cut the excess of that elastic thread off, or spread the bracelet apart in between beads and try to thread that elastic thread back into those beads. Well, here you have it, my darlings, our simple, inexpensive, and quick beaded bracelet that we created in about 15 to 20 minutes time tops. Now, I think I would have to say my favorite part of this project would have to be those crackled glass beads and the iridescence that have been created within them. In addition to those crackled glass, I liked how I continued with the iridescent trend and used beads that picked up on the iridescence of those glass beads, as well as and including the iridescence that are visible in those other beads as well. Now, of course, without saying, with the plethora of beads and jewelry making items that are on the market, creating a beaded bracelet like this, my darlings, what can I say? The sky is the limit and the possibilities are endless. I just showed you how to do it. So if you have found any value in this video, and as well, if you are excited about taking this DIY jewelry making journey with me, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, as well as leave me a comment in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. To my Danny's darlings, I just would like to take the time to tell you thanks for all of your love, your encouragement, your questions, your feedback. Please know that none of it is wasted, and I appreciate each and every one of you. To those of you who, however, who may not yet be Danny's darlings and who may have possibly stumbled across our channel today, kindly be sure to join our ever-growing community of DIYers as we craft with and learn from each other on a weekly basis. We would love to have you. And so, my darlings, before I sign out for this video, I would just like to leave you with a motto to our channel, which is simply this: why buy when you can DIY? And so, until the next time, my darlings, please, please, please take care of yourselves for me. Know that I love you all. Bye now.